Happy Tuesday. Wait, it's not Tuesday, y'all. My day. Happy Thursday. My days are insane right now. Happy Thursday. Come on in, come on in, come on in. I hope that y'all are well. Come on in, come on in. Put a 1 in the comments if you can hear me clearly. Because I want to make sure that you can hear me clearly. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Happy Truth Telling Thursday. Okay, today we're going to be talking specifically about how you cannot attract while being attached. And the reason why I'm doing this live, well, I'm going to get into that in a second. But for those who don't know who I am, my name is L. Antoinette. I am a energetics and identity mentor. What I do specifically is that I support my amazing clients. Yeah, I'm putting some oil on my hands because my hands look ashy to me. I support my amazing clients who are visionary women. I mentor them to dissolve invisible ceilings that support them in embodying their energetic and their emotional authority so that their leadership, their relationships, and their wealth reflects their authentic design. So I support my clients in being able to make more money. I support my clients and do it in a way to where they don't have to exhaust themselves. I support my clients in a way so they're able to live the life that they actually desire by mastering their emotions. I support my amazing clients in getting healthier. So I have results in all of those key areas. I absolutely love the work I do. I've helped over hundreds of women. So I just love the work that I do, okay? So this is your first time joining me. Welcome, 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 welcome. Do me a favor and share this with another amazing woman, leader. Y'all, I'm so sad. Let me tell y'all something about them press-ons. So I don't have nails on. Y'all know I normally have nails on. I'm so frustrated that I don't have any because I had press-ons and some water got underneath it. And when you do not, water gets underneath your nails, you can get like a fungus a little bit. And that starts to happen on my fingers. So I have to let my fingers rest. And I'm like annoyed. Because I wanted to at least have some nails on for my father's funeral. Because my father's funeral is on Saturday. But that's not going to happen. All right. But again, today we're talking specifically about how you can't attract while you're attached. And if you're wondering what I'm talking about attracting, I'm talking about attracting the masculine in general. So when I say the masculine in general, I'm talking about, you can't attract masculine men or you can't attract money because money is masculine, okay? You cannot attract these things while you are attached. So if you struggle and you identify yourself as a person proudly with a attachment, style and all of this and all of that, you need to be very leery and very careful about what you identify as because it may be the reason why you're not getting the results and the things that you truly desire for your life and for yourself. Put in the comments for me and let me know where you're watching from. Okay? Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate your condolences. But put in the comments where you're watching from because it's soon. And I do mean as soon as I get everything situated with my father's funeral and done this weekend, I am going somewhere. I got to go. So let me know where you're watching from because I just left Miami. I was in Miami like a month ago. Girl, that was before I sprained my ankle. I sprained my ankle and then got on a plane and went to Miami. Child, crazy. South Carolina. I've never been to South Carolina, but I've actually been to North Carolina, and I actually will be in North Carolina again. So I'm gonna try next go around to see if I can slide down to South Carolina. Because I wanna know more about the history and the different things that I've just kind of seen in regards to South Carolina. So that's exciting. All right. Thank y'all for being here. Like I said today, I have a video on TikTok or a piece of content, short form content that's circulating right now. And the front of the video is basically like, I don't know why women are out here trying to figure out, where are the men good, where are the men, the masculine men, and where's the money? Like, so why people are online arguing about coffee dates and online arguing about, men giving them money, y'all are missing the science. Y'all are missing out on something. Attraction is science. And let me preface this with saying I'm an absolute nerd, so I have done all of the research. So you don't have to, but I've done enough research that you can go and look for these things up for yourself. Okay, so I'm going to talk about specifically, like I said, how and why you cannot attract masculine men or attract money while you're attached to these things. It's really important that you understand detachment, you understand attachment, you understand its role and why it's blocking you from getting the things that you desire and the things that you want. And I'm going to break that down for you today using science. I always try to tell people, like, people think attraction is just like, oh, I'm looking at someone, I think they're attractive or I think they look good. It's deeper than that. It's deeper than that. And if you don't believe me, just think about the guy that you see in the store. And some women do this. I don't do this because I understand attraction is science. Some women will look at other women, look at a man who they think is extremely attractive, and then look at the woman he's with and be like, why is he with her? Like, I don't know why women do that. It's very jealous. But when I see couples like that, or I see women make those type of comments, I smile because I always know why, because attraction is science. And if you understand the science of yourself, then you can magnetize anything into your world and anything into your experience. I am telling you what I know. I have done this to be able to lose 100 pounds. I have done this to be able to build a multi-six-figure business from the ground up. I have done this to be able to improve the way that I attract and deal with the masculine. And I have results in all of these areas when it comes down to my clients. I have clients who've attracted fiancés. I have clients who have bettered their marriages. I have clients who have made more money. I have clients who have gotten healthier and lost a whole lot of weight. So life is a little bit more simpler when you understand the science of yourself. And one of the things that I teach is feminine science. As a woman, you should know the science of your feminine nature. You should know the psychology of your feminine core, because if you understand these things, it makes it easier for you to magnetize money and the desired type of men into your space. I only magnetize the type of masculine that I desire into my space, and I do it using science. It's not because I'm the prettiest girl. I'm pretty. I'm beautiful. I eat, I take that. However, I'm not pulling these things in based on pretty privilege. I'm pulling these things are magnetized to me because of science. So I'm going to break down those sciences today, okay? Because it's really, really important that you grasp that and that you understand. Because again, you don't attract the masculine, money and men while you're attached. And that's literally science. So I'm going to break down that science today. And for those, I lost my earring. Oh, did I? No, I lost the back of my earring. Ooh. Y'all, this gonna drive me insane if my earring fall out, but I'm just gonna let it be. But I'm gonna get into that today. It's literally science that you cannot attract the things that you claim that you want by being attached to them. First and foremost, I want to talk about attachment in the sense of the idea. I want to talk about the pipeline from idea to idolization, to idol, okay? And this happens all throughout society. Y'all, if my earring fall, just don't even worry about it. It's really gonna make me sad, but I'm gonna worry about it later on. When you think about the pipeline from an idea to idolization, I'll use marriage for the perfect example. A lot of people want to be married. The majority of people who want to be married are people who have never been married before. Okay? And yes, I love that, Faith. So when it comes down to the idea of marriage, a lot of us have been trained to believe, in this fairy tale, we've been trained to believe that men are supposed to be like this and women are supposed to be like this, and this is the way the household is supposed to go, yada, 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 yada. We have a mixture of what we saw in our household along with, thank you for these follows and these likes, along with what societal programming has trained us to believe what love is, what marriage is supposed to be, and all of these things. If you are a reader and you ain't scared, keyword, hear what I'm saying. If you are a reader and you are not scared to face the truth, I strongly suggest you click the link in my bio, sign up and subscribe for my Substack, because I wrote an article on marriage, the truth about marriage, the start of marriage, and how people idolize marriage and the confusion that it causes. A lot of people are under a contract, and you allowed yourself to get under a contract because there's so-called God's name on the contract. You're under contract, but you're not in covenant. And what I mean by that, marriage is a legal binding contract. This has come from someone who's married for 8 years. Let's get into it. I ain't talking nothing new. I'm talking something true. Okay? So when you enter into a marriage legally, That is a binding contract, which is why when you divorce, somebody is suing the other party, okay? And this is why, when you are the side person in certain states, you can get sued because it is a violation of the contract. But see, a lot of people are in marriages where they are strictly under contract and they are not under covenant. And covenant means to be in agreement. Covenant means to be in agreement. So I have an entire series. It's a 2 to 3 part letter that I wrote breaking down marriage, because a lot of women are trying to rush into something when you don't know what it is. Do you understand and know that the origin of marriage was for you to be property and for you to be traded off for land? Do you understand that love, according to Western society, the concept of being married for love did not come into play until the 19th century, 18th, 19th century, more so 19th. That's a new concept. This is why a lot of you will turn your faces up at things like arranged marriages and different things like that, because you don't understand that marriage is not about love. There is nowhere even in scripture that tells you marriage is about love. You see how far they pulled us away from what truth is? And I'm going to tell you something. There is no issue in marriage. The issue at hand is if you are under legal contract and you are not in covenant. Marriage is a spiritual covenant, which is what a lot of people don't understand and they don't realize. They don't realize that when you're walking down the aisle, when you walk down the aisle to the altar, an altar represents sacrifice, an altar represents offering. Most people, when they are walking down the aisle, they have no idea what they are about to sacrifice. They have no idea what they are offering, which is why we continue to see the cycle of divorce happen, because you have this false reality, this false idea of what marriage is. And that false idea of what marriage is makes a lot of women look at marriage and idolize it and put it as a goal point for your life, and put it up here on this pedestal and believe that you're not worthy if you don't experience it or you do not have it. And this is something that women really need to understand. Some of us are here to be married. Some of us are not here to be married. Some of us are here to be mothers. Some of us are here to birth other things other than children. You need to get in alignment with what is supposed to be for your life, because every other format, every other program, every other thing you do that is not in alignment with your design is going to be a failure to you. The reason why a lot of women don't like marriage and don't like motherhood and they don't feel like it's worth it is because they get a false sense of reality, the idea of what it is, and nobody talks about what it really is. If you are not ready to die to self, if you are not ready to sacrifice, if you are not ready to do the things necessary to be in marriage, then you don't need to be married. And that's just real tea. People don't understand the symbolism of the things that you are doing. You're walking down the aisle to an altar. Altar is where sacrifices happen, where you bring offerings. Do you understand? A lot of people don't understand, which is why they find themselves in a state of depression and out, because they're attached to an idea. See how dangerous it is for you to be attached to an idea of something, but not the reality of something? Thank you, my love, for these gifts, these likes, and these comments. We get that really confused. So today I'm going to be talking about specifically that you cannot attract the masculine. The masculine as in money, the masculine as in masculine men, while you are attached to the idea of them. And I'm going to help you come out of that today. Hopefully. Because you're responsible for what you know. Once I tell you. I'm going to tell you the laws of science here. Because attraction is science. So if you want to attract, you're going to have to detach. And I'm going to support you with that today. Okay? So, let's get straight into it. Let me just talk about first and foremost who this live is for and who this live is not for. So this live specifically is for the woman who is exhausted from managing money, men, and mission, and her mission from the masculine energy, trying to do everything. She's tired of doing the most for men, doing the most to get money, doing the most in the name of a mission. She's tired of these things. Okay? This is for a woman who is ready to lead from soft power, not sacrifice. This live is going to be for the woman who knows that she's built more, right? Or built for more, but doesn't want to lose herself in getting there. This is the woman who understands that, yes, it might be a part of my destiny in my life to be this businesswoman or to be a wife, but the reality is I want to be able to do these things without losing myself. You do not have to lose your sense of self to participate in experience in this life. You don't have to lose yourself in order to perform or to show up in the fullness of your roles. You don't have to lose yourself in motherhood. You don't have to lose yourself in marriage. You don't have to lose yourself in business. You don't have to lose yourself as a high level CEO. These are not things that you have to do. Society trained you to be sacrificial. And a lot of society, a lot of that training came from traditional church that's not really rooted in truth or true text of scripture. It's a lot of tradition that teaches you to be a good girl, to be meek and mild, to do this and to do that. Not to be docile and to do all of these things when it tells you in scripture to have boundaries. It tells you in scripture to have boundaries. It tells you in scripture to shake the dust with people. It tells you in scripture how to dismiss people from your life and when to dismiss people from your life. No, nothing in scripture teaches you to be a drain or to be attached to the idea of anything. And women are attached to the idea of marriage, the idea of men, and the idea of money, and it is draining you because you are idolizing these things. You are idolizing marriage, you are idolizing men, and you are idolizing money, which is why all of these things grow further and further and further and further and further and further and further away from you. She said, I need to detach from church. I wouldn't necessarily recommend you detaching from church because to me, church is the body, and every member in the body who is in position has a position and a role to play. What I would strongly say, though, is that I would deconstruct from religion because religion is a man-made construct. And specifically, if you are feeling like you need to detach or deconstruct from Christianity, I will say this. It's very important for you to do your research and reading the Ethiopian Bible that has all of the books of the Bible that are missing to be able to fill in those missing pieces. And I would say that congratulations on your journey, because the truth of the matter is when you really study scripture, when you truly study scripture, you will realize that Yeshua, you would realize that Christ would have nothing to do with modern day Christianity because it goes against the way the Messiah actually lived. But that's a whole nother conversation. People don't like when you say that, but when you look in the scripture and look at truth, it is what it is. And a lot of people don't like to have that kind of conversation with me because I'm very honest. Because my thing is, I'm going to show you your own truth in the Bible, and I'm a believer. But please don't get it confused and don't misunderstand that Christ, by definition, which means anointing, so we're talking about the Messiah named Yeshua, would have nothing to do with modern day Christianity. And that's a fact because it goes against the way that the Messiah lived. And if you don't believe me, I'm just going to give you one example. I'm just going to give you one. If everybody's saying live like Yeshua, okay? If everybody's saying live like Yeshua. Yeshua followed the commandments, and Yeshua practiced Sabbath, and Yeshua didn't do church on Sunday. See, all of these things, you can go and look these things up for yourself. So, before you completely disconnect, do deep research. Do deep research because it's very vital and very important for your own relationship with the Creator. And because to me, there is no way to thrive on this earth without a relationship with the Creator because you are walking around in a world that you didn't create. So how do you know how to move? And that's something very important for people to pay attention to. Society wants you to get attached to this world. It tells you in scripture to not be conformed of this world, to be transformed by the daily renewing of your mind, meaning that you have to consistently remind yourself that you are not here for this. A lot of this that's happening, you're not here for this. A lot of these things that's happening, you are seeing it happen in real time, but you still are in control of your reality because you can change your reality. Okay? So that's what I'm going to talk about today. These attachment styles and all that stuff. Be careful what you identify yourself as because your identity is very key. Hence, I am an energetics and identity mentor because money lie, men lie, women lie, numbers can be crunched, data can be skewed, but your energetics will always tell the truth And I mean, they will always tell the truth on you. And that's the thing that you have to understand. So your energetics around understanding who you are positions you in this world to progress or either be positioned for poverty. And I'm just telling you the absolute truth. The way the systems are at work and the powers that be, according to Ephesians, we're not working against people, we're working against principalities and darkness. And the powers that be of darkness plan to position you for poverty. That is what this whole thing is about. That's what this whole thing's about. Okay? So these are the things that you need to pay attention to. You need to detach from these ideas of how to make money, these ideas of men, these ideas of, marriage and all of these things. You have to detach from these things in order for you to actually be in position to receive these things. And I'm going to break that down. And like I say, everything I teach, number one, is rooted in scripture. It is backed up by science. So what I'm going to be teaching you today is basically the science of yourself. How these laws, scientific laws, support you in you don't need to be detached. You don't need to be attached. You need to be detached. Okay? So, like I said who this live was for. Did I say who this live was not for? I don't know. I don't know if I did or I didn't. But let's just go ahead and get into it anyway. So let's get into the first aspect of this. I'm looking down at my iPad where I have my notes. If you're the kind of woman who always shows up, okay, but never really feels like your needs are met. If you're the type of woman who makes money but you feel pressure and not peace. If you're the type of woman who leads, who creates, who holds space but silently resents how much it costs you, this one is going to be for you, okay? So you're high functioning, you're brilliant, you're strategic, you're all of these great things, but you're exhausted. You are frustrated and low key. You're disconnected from your softness, so you're a little bitter, you're a little tight. Soon as a man comes say something, oh, what do you want? Oh, no. Your energy just completely gives off how much of frustration you are and how much softness that you lack. So today we're not talking about how to manifest more of these things. We're talking about why your nervous system is repelling the things that you truly desire. Especially masculine men, money, and sustainable success. All those things are things that you desire, but those things are running from you because you don't understand the science of yourself. 3 key things that you need to know as a woman on this entire earth, okay? While you're walking this planet, 3 things you need to thrive. Number 1, you need to understand spiritual law. For me, that looks like scripture. You do what you want to do. I'm just telling you what works. I didn't use scripture and the science and understanding the science to help women make a whole lot of money. I didn't use it to help women attract better men. I didn't use it to help women lose weight, and I did all those things for myself. All that's in the scripture. Believe it or not. They've been playing us this all the time when it comes down to the book. The scripture is a book of codes. The reason why it's difficult to read is that you have to sit down and take time to truly study it because it will be revealed to you. You have to dissect it. I'm a nerd, so I like dissecting science things and physics and scripture and figure out how it works for me and works with me so I can work with the law instead of working against the law. That's how you create the reality you want. Number 1, spiritual law. Number 2, you have to understand the science of yourself. As a woman, if you are out here operating like a man, meaning that you are not in tune with your sun and your moon clock, if you are out here in a space where you're trying to hustle hard and you're working against your cycle, the 4 phases of your cycle, instead of working with them, you're going to throw your body into hormonal imbalance. I had an issue of blood for 21 years where I had irregular cycles. They diagnosed me with polycystic ovarian in 2004 when nobody was talking about it when I was 20 years old. Guess what? I'm 41, don't have polycystic ovarian syndrome. If I could have a kid right now, I could have one if I wanted one. Good evening and good night. Okay? And that all came from me understanding my energetics and understanding the science of myself and stop working against my body and start working with my body. And I've supported my clients in being able to do some of the same things. The third thing that's going to be very important if you want to thrive as a woman is going to be you need to study the psychology of your generational lineage. The women in your family, you need to pay attention to them without judgment now. Because I know y'all like to judge your mama, your auntie, your grandma, and the people for staying. She stayed with this man all this time. Let me tell you something. I'm going to just keep it real with you. I was having this conversation the other day with my brother. Unless you shift your patterns and unless you change your programming and shift your reality, you are bound to become one of your parents. So you can hate them all day long. You can judge them all day long. You can think that you're better than them because you got your degrees and everything, and you can think that because you went to therapy, you're so much better than them. But let me tell you something, sweetheart. You are still a lemon from the lemon tree. And when you get squeezed, lemon juice will be coming out. You are your people. You are your people. Okay? So understand that. Understand that. Hi, Lovey. So, anyway, let's go back into it. Okay? First things first. Like I said, you can attract masculine, whether it's money or whether it is men while you're attached to things. This is not a mindset thing that I'm about to give you. This literally is physics that I'm talking about. I'm a nerd, okay? I like science. I don't really like math, right? I like science. So I like understanding the science of things. And so what I'm teaching is a majority of it is going to be physics on today, all right? So no one is telling you this. No one is telling you that attraction is science. Nobody telling you that you need to pay attention to your physics. And to be honest with you, most high-performing women are chasing overflow with the energy that's rooted in survival. I cannot tell you how many women are out here that make a lot of money or out here taking care of men. I cannot tell you how many women are out here working as high-level CEOs and they got a man at home playing Nintendo, dropping them off at work, and doing things like that. I cannot tell you how many women that I'm seeing that have all this money and that deal with men that they feel like they have a leg up on so they can control the scenario when they are not happy. They are really disgusted by the man in their presence. I see it all the time. Okay? I see it all the time. All the time. And that's because your energy is rooted in survival when you do that because you don't want to be alone. She say, oh my God, that was me and my baby daddy. Then he drained me of everything. Listen, that's how they do. Listen, that's how misalignment does. It drains you. It drains you. Most high-performing women, like I said, they're chasing the overflow from a space that's rooted in survival. They don't want to be by themselves, so they limit themselves and they do all these different type of things, right? Here are some of the things that these type of women do. They tense up when they need to ask for more. They don't really want to ask for more. They feel uncomfortable. They don't necessarily feel like they should have to ask for more. They feel like they're leading by example by doing all of these things. So you should be doing what they're doing. When in reality, they lack the vulnerability to be able to express what it is that they truly need due to the consistent letdowns that they've had in their lives. You understand? Still not an excuse for you to sit around and do that. I just want to give you some context of where they may be coming from. Okay? These women also apologize when they need to raise their prices. I'm sorry. They're like, oh, the price is $5,000. Oh, no, I can't afford that. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I probably can do it for $3,500. See, it's that type of foolishness right there. These are the same type of women who overfunction in love. You do everything for men. I mean, you do everything for him. I mean, you do everything for him. And you seem to not even get anything from him. You don't even get a fourth of what it is that you are offering. Okay? Like, you're not even getting a fourth, a third of what it is you're offering in love, but you are overextending yourself and you are over-functioning because you feel like if you do all of these things, then he's going to turn around and miraculously give you all of the things that you have been looking for and asking for. These same women are gripping when it comes down to launching products. These are the same women who always, as soon as, even when they have an up moment, they're bracing for their next disappointment because they do not know how to feel comfortable sitting in what's good for them. A lot of these women anticipate the next bad thing that's going to happen to them, even when things are going extremely good. I want to be very clear that when you're operating in any of those energies, that energy repels. And you know it. Truthfully, you know it. Because it will repel you. You just haven't been taught what to do instead because you just revert to your normal programming. Again, if you have not reprogrammed the mind, if you have not reprogrammed the body, if you have not reprogrammed self and rewired the nervous system, you are bound to repeat the patterns of your parents or of your childhood upbringing. You are not better. You are not bigger than the program. I know a lot of you think that you go to therapy and you think that you're big. If you don't have any forward progression in those sessions, and in that scenario, you are just ruminating in the same childhood trauma and causing yourself to consistently have PTSD every single day. You are walking out here sensitive, wounded. It's like your wounds on the outside. Anybody touch you in the slightest, baby, you screaming. You screaming. So let's get into this. Let's get into the physics of it. Let's get into the science of force, polarity, and proximity, okay? So first we're going to talk about Newton's law of force and acceleration. We talked a little bit about it yesterday. I've talked a little bit about it, or shown a little bit about it in my content and talking about, you know, attracting the masculine or attracting more money into your space. And I want to kind of break it down for you. So Newton's law of force and acceleration is basically force equals mass times acceleration. For example, if you are a woman who follows the femininity programming of society that says that you should be quiet, you should be light, you should not question anything, you should do this, you should be a good girl, you should do this, you should do that, right? That's the programming in your mind. But here's the truth. Here's the truth. Here's the truth. You can't be a good girl. Nobody's a good girl. The good girl programming is fake and phony, and it was used to put you in a position of control. There is no such thing, because the good girl never wins. That whole nice women finish last night, that's true. That's true, because you're looked at as the sucker. Because the reality of the situation is this: the majority of the people in the world are not fair, are not just, are not honest. So for you to have the perception and the perspective that I'm just going to be this way and other people are going to be this way because I'm this way, it doesn't work that way. So you have the programming in your mind which is forced on you. That's the force in the law of Newton's law of force and acceleration. So that's the force. They force that program on you. But guess what happens? That mass, that weight is too heavy for you to carry, because guess what? You ain't nice all the time. You ain't docile. You do get pissed off. You do get hot. You do get horny. These things happen for you in reality. So you repressing these things and suppressing these things are not supporting you. They are making you a slave. And so eventually the mass of that force, okay, the forced programming, the weight of carrying something that you really can't do, and the fact that they keep telling you have to show up every single day as this fake person, guess what happens? All that pressure makes you crack. Because scientifically, it's not possible for you to keep up a fake persona. Scientifically, it's not possible. I ain't even hit you with the scripture yet. That's what I'm saying. Everything I teach is rooted in scripture, backed up by science. I'm a nerd, man. I do this. So I'm telling you, you cannot hold the weight of the false persona, of the force, of the fake ideas that society plant in your head. And this is why the woman crashes after she gets married, when she realizes that the idea of marriage in her mind is a freaking illusion. It's fake, it's phony. And when she realized that was forced on her, and she can't carry the weight of being the wife and being everything for her, and she has a breakdown from keep going. Listen, your science as a woman, you cannot take that. You get sick. You wonder why you enter into autoimmune disease? That's why. So you enter into autoimmune disease once your nervous system has hit the point of like, hey, I done did everything I could do. I didn't numbed her. I didn't try to keep her going. I didn't did everything according to science to be able to keep this going to my ability. My hands are off. Yep, alopecia as well. My hands are off. So when we're talking about the law of force and acceleration, which is one of Newton's laws of motion, the second law of motion, this is what I'm breaking down. If you're feeling heavy, if you're feeling rushed, if you're feeling overwhelmed, okay? If you're feeling all of these things, hold on, I'm sorry, I had to hit that to make sure it was correct. If you're feeling all of these things, it's because you're carrying too much mass. You're carrying too much weight. Did you know that losing 4 pounds takes 16 pounds of pressure off your spine? How much weight you got on your back? Think about all the people you carrying. How much weight you got on your back? If you lost 4 pounds, it would take 16 pounds of pressure off of your spine. How many people you carrying? I'm just asking for you. I ain't gotta ask for me. I'm asking for you. How many people you carrying? I want you to think about that. So if you feel heavy, you feel rushed, you feel overwhelmed, it's because you're carrying too much mass. Boom. Or because you're moving too fast. Boom, acceleration. Okay? Or you're trying to get something to happen before your system is ready to hold it. Why are you rushing marriage when you can't manage money? Ha, say la. What? So you're going to get a man with money, and you can't manage no money. You're not scientifically. You're not. Y'all know how I always be saying you're not an energetic match for that. That's what I'm saying. According to science, beloved, you're not an energetic match for that. For real, you ain't. That's not even for you. That's not even for you. That's not even for you. You're not an energetic match for these things. So again, if you feel heavy, if you feel rushed, if you feel overwhelmed, hi, Delaware here, married 42 years. You are so on point today. Now healing, fasting myself. All praise to the Most High. Thank you. Thank you. All praise to the Most High. Thank you for sharing it too. A lot of us are carrying too much weight, literally and figuratively. Okay? We are moving too fast. Thank you, my love, for these gifts, these likes, and these comments. All at acceleration. And we trying to get something that we don't even have the bandwidth or the foundation to carry. Thank you, my love, for these gifts. No wonder why you exhausted, baby. No wonder why you feel burnout, baby. Let me tell you something. Burnout is the equivalent to your car running hot. Now, I'm 42, 41. I keep saying I'm 42. Why I keep pushing it up? Baby, I'm 41. So, when your car is running hot, I've had a car to run hot, right? It's literally giving you a warning. It's letting you know, hey, we running too much. It's too much acceleration. It's science happening right there in your vehicle. If the science shows up in your vehicle, do you understand that the science is also going to show up in your vessel? Vehicles are designed after your vessel. They all have all these moving parts. Just like the computer, the hard drive, is modeled after your brain. Do you understand that? Everything on this earth that you spend so much time worshiping and keeping around you, they are simply mimics of your DNA. They are mimics of you. Do you not understand that the whole premise of the enemy is to mock the Most High? Is to create things that mimic the Most High? Why do you think they finna level up surveillance? Because that allows the enemy to be everywhere all the time and to see everything. The enemy want to be like the Most High so bad. Why do you think they call the enemy the Prince of Air? Airwaves, Wi-Fi, internet, surveillance, open. We are in the age of air. Y'all better wake up. Okay? Wake it up. This is not the time to be attached, baby. This is the time to be detached. Do you understand? And I don't mean escapism. That ain't the same thing. We ain't the same. We ain't the same. Now, I ain't telling you to escape and weed drinking. I ain't telling you to do that, baby, because that ain't what I'm saying. But what I am telling you is that you are here. You need to be being detached. And detached is your authentic feminine nature anyway. I'm going to get into a little bit of this when it comes down to, this is how most women, who achieved a level of success in some things, how they approach money and how they approach men. Hey, my love. They approach money or their business like, I need this launch to work. This gotta work. This my last thing. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. Oh, little faithless. Let me tell you something. Entrepreneurship, like my good friend Coach Jay says, is a spiritual assignment, baby. You got to know. This is what you're supposed to be doing. Because there's going to be times you're going to want to quit. You got to know. No. This is what you're supposed to be doing. So having the energy of being needy, like, I need this launch to work. What are you doing? I don't need clients. Let me be real clear. I don't need clients. I need to be in obedience to the Most High, and I need to speak the language of wisdom that is given to me via my experience and my gifts. And my language is going to resonate with the clients and the people in the space that it needs to resonate with. And those people are going to invest their revenue. So no, baby, I'm not looking for clients. I need to be obedient. Good evening and good night. So I don't need a launch. I need this to work. I need to be in position to get my work. You understand? Because women have the mindset is, I need to do this so I can make more money. No, ma'am. You don't need to do this to make more money. In all actuality, you need to position yourself to receive more money. See, your mindset is jacked up, and that's why you overworking yourself and you overfunction in these scenarios. Your mindset of feeling like I need to have this done makes you do more, and y'all don't get that the hardest working person do not be the one that make the most money. Y'all don't understand that the one who works the hardest in the situationship is not the one who gets the relationship or the marriage. Nobody values your hard work when it hasn't been asked for. Okay? Nobody's valuing that. Nobody. Because you're not even valuing it enough to put limits on it, to have a threshold. Every giver should have a threshold. Women like to say that men take advantage of them, but you don't know your threshold as a giver, and that's your real problem. Thank you, my love. That's your real problem. Here's another way that most women approach, they have a bit of success, approach men, and approach money. Outside of I want this launch to work, they like, I need this relationship to prove that I'm worthy of being chosen. So next thing you know, you auditioning for a role. People ask me all the time why I don't do the boyfriend and girlfriend thing outside of the fact that I am 41 years old. Number one. Number two, I don't do it because I don't audition for roles. Not me. I don't knock nobody else. Because I want to break down the dynamics for 1 second of what the modern day relationship basically looks like and what it is. Let's just keep it real. Nobody want to talk about it. I'm going to talk about it. Let's get into it. Because I need you to relieve yourself of your attachment so that you can actually attract the things that you want. So let's get it. Thank you, my love, for these gifts, these likes, these comments, and these follows. I appreciate y'all. But, so let's talk about it for a second. My concept, I'm going to go back to elementary school. When you think about a boyfriend and a girlfriend, right? When you were a kid, you're like, I like you, you like me, check the box. I grew up in that era. I'm a 90s kid, but if you didn't grow up in the 90s as a kid, I'm not talking about being born. I'm talking about unless you 90 to 93, you don't know what it's like to really grow up in the 90s as a kid. We was doing checking the box, okay? So do you like me, checking the box? Okay, great, I like you. You my boyfriend, great, wonderful, right? So there's number one. That's the first element of relationships, okay? We had the check in the box letters. Yes, baby, had a box full of letters I was hiding from my mama. So, that's your perception of it. So then you begin to grow, and let's just say you get into the fairy tale of everything. You go into high school and in junior high school, and you're like, I like you, but I love you now. So then it transitions from I like you to the I love you stage of a so-called relationship. This is like the puppy type of scenario, right? And let's just say you begin to age and you go into college and you're thinking, okay, yeah, in a relationship, we like each other, we love each other, and then we get engaged, and then we get married, and that's the way that it goes. But here's what I'm noticing with all of those things that's going on. If that is the idea of relationships, let's break that down for a second, specifically the last one. I like you, you like me. Let's get in a relationship. Okay, now I love you. We're in a relationship. Okay, so now we're waiting to see if we're going to get engaged in this relationship. So what automatically starts happening with the woman is that subconsciously she starts to prove herself. Here you go, cooking and cleaning and cleaning and cooking. Here you go, cooking and cleaning and cleaning and cooking. Here you go, buying stuff. Here you go, feeling like, let me help you out. And I'm fighting for my relationship, which I don't believe in fighting for your relationship, okay? Because what is the fight? What is the fight about? I ain't never had to fight to keep nothing in my life now. I'm just saying. So if this is the concept for us to like each other, for us to love each other, for us to possibly get engaged, after I've auditioned and proved to you that I am so worthy of being chosen. This is why a lot of women find themselves in a state of heartbreak, being in relationships for a long period of time, and it doesn't lead anywhere. This is why women feel slighted when the man leaves and he goes and he marries the next girl. Y'all, what I'm about to say probably gonna sound crazy, but if you listen to the science, it make perfect sense. In a lot of scenarios where you see people be in a relationship for 10 years or more, or in a period for years, and then they break up and they go and they be with somebody else and they immediately marry them, can I tell y'all something? That's the law of force and acceleration in real time. in your face. I'm about to show you the science. Attraction is science. Y'all should be paying attention in science, or come see me so I could break down the science for you. But the law of force and acceleration again. When that man left you and he went to go deal with this woman, the force was her firm boundary. See, force, when it comes down to that, depends on, is based on three things, okay? Energetic boundary set, a firm standard, or a declaration. When that man went over to that woman, you know what she said? And he was like, I'm interested in you. I want to see where it goes. You know what she said? She was like, that sound cool, but I'm dating for marriage. Firm standard. See, we not even finna play that accelerated the process of him getting out the way or him getting closer to her. This is science. It's science. It is science. It's science. I don't know how to even make it even more. It is science. On me, if you could understand the science of yourself, I promise you, you would not be getting played. Spiritual law, science of self, psychology of history, you're going to be Gucci if you got them three. Because you could never be played. Why? Because nobody can play you without your permission, participation, or the fact that you are not paying attention. And if you tapped into them three things, spiritual law, science of self, psychology of your lineage, nobody can play you because you know yourself and you always paying attention. But on Ting, the reason why he married her right then and there is because there either had to be a declaration that was set up front, an energetic boundary that was set that said you cannot get over here unless this goes down this way, or a firm standard, I don't date only unless it's for marriage. It's the science. One day y'all gonna listen to me. One day y'all gonna listen to me. And that's only one law. Just imagine if you use that one law in your dating. That one law, you will accelerate the process of people either stepping up to the plate or running away. And what is the best thing about understanding the law of force and acceleration? You learn how to not waste time. You stop wasting time because you accelerate the process right then and there. Either this child's play or we for real. And you don't even have to be mean about it, y'all. You just got to use the science. Y'all be trying to get out. Y'all don't, because you're not a master of your emotions. When a man says, I just want to go with the flow, which is what they all really gonna say for the most part. You want to be like, you ain't going into me because I need to be married. Da, da, da. All you got to say is, oh, that sounds great. You know, me personally, I'm dating for marriage. And that's all I'm really giving my energy or access to. That's going to turn him up or turn him out. That's going to turn him off, or that's going to turn him up to where he's going to try to meet the thing because he really, really, really wants access. Science, baby. Science. My dad told me never to trust a man going with the flow, period. Because he don't know where he's going. But if you set a standard, a firm standard or an energetic boundary, he has no choice. He either has to go over that hurdle, which is that energetic boundary, which requires him to work, or that firm standard. He's either going to meet that standard or realize I ain't about that, so I'm going to leave her alone. I'm telling you, nobody can waste your time, your energy, your attention, or your money without you participating in the process, giving permission to the process. I'm telling y'all, this stuff is science. Just imagine if we all would have paid attention in science class. I love being a nerd, man. I love it. So again, women who approach men, in the most part like this, they approach men like, I need this relationship to work to prove that I'm chosen. Everybody want to find themselves, being chosen. Like being married is a marker for being chosen. When the reality of the situation is, sis, you should be choosing yourself, and marriage should be in alignment with your design. Because if your marriage is not strategically aligned, it's not equally yoked. And you're going to be the one that's drained the majority of the relationship. If you're not and that's just real. When you don't understand the science of these things, these are the things that you do. This is also how women approach men and money. They'll be like, I need this client to say yes so I can breathe. You putting all your faith in that client. You putting all your faith in his relationship. You putting your faith in all these things. Let me tell y'all something. That's pressure. And pressure is force. And force is not good with your feminine design. When you work against yourself, when you force and you do things, you get pushback. That's science. When you put too much pressure, you're going to get resistance. This is science. Pressuring that man to marry you is crazy. Ultimate. I'm trying to tell y'all it's science. You will stop playing yourself because nobody is playing you. Men are not that smart for them to be playing you. They are not smarter than you. You literally have an innate gift. You have an innate gift on the inside of you that gives you a word, that gives you warnings, that gives you the things you need to have. You are not being played. You playing yourself. Come on. So I just read down on the TikTok and you came up, I need this message today. Well, all praise to the Most High. Okay? Force repels, y'all. As a woman, force repels. That's why arguing with that man don't work. Why? Because it's force. And it goes against the science. Man, I'm keep trying to tell y'all. You put yourself in a very bad position when you're trying to force things. Force repels and it breaks you down. It breaks you down. You. Okay? Let's talk about the second law. Because we talked about Newton's law of force and acceleration and what that looked like in the science and of force. Okay? So let's talk about the law of proximity. So if we are wanting to attract the masculine, which is the type of money we desire, the type of men that we desire, right? If you are really trying to attract that, you need to understand Newton's law of force and acceleration, but you also need to understand the law of polarity. The law of polarity is electromagnetism. Everything I'm giving you is science. Y'all need to, I'm trying to put y'all on. Cause the girls is upsetting me. The girls is upsetting me. Okay? They upsetting me with this chasing. And it's because you don't understand yourself. And I want us to stop. Because where we're going, if you keep doing this, you're going to position yourself in a bad space. I said it on my TikTok content yesterday. Women who are out here dating, you need to have discernment. If you lack discernment, you're going to struggle. Because let me tell you something. You need to be focused on money and community. Money and community right now. Oh, I want to be married. Does that man have money and community? Because when he is getting on your nerves and he cannot show it for you because you have decided to give him children, is there a community or do he have money so you could be supported? You need to think. Oh, I just want to date now. You need to be focused on money and community. Because the way things are going, can you afford to live? And do you have connections where you can barter and do different things? Does he have those things? If not, why are you even, what are we doing? Relationships are supposed to elevate your life, sweetheart. Relationships are supposed to enhance your life. Aren't you tired of enhancing everybody else's life but your own? I'm just asking for you. I ain't even asking for me because I ain't doing it. I'm asking for you. So let's get into the law of polarity, okay? The law of polarity is basically, there's two poles. There's north, there's south, there's east, there's west. There's, good, there's evil. There's right, there's wrong. There's all those things, okay? Now I just scrolled by this live and I got attacked. Y'all, please. I want to help. So when we're talking about masculine energy in regard to the law of polarity, there's polar opposites. There's masculine and there's feminine. Masculine energy, if this is what you were seeking, okay? Masculine energy as in money and as in masculine men, because money is masculine. All right? So masculine energy is drawn to grounded, clear, soft power of the feminine. When women tend to ask me about how they can get invested in, whether it's from men, corporations, and all these things, I want you to think about it. The corporate system is masculine. And so if there was a corporate company that was interested in you, they would not work with you if you're online as a creator and you are unstable, if you clapping back in the comments and cursing everybody out, you're going to look unstable, ungrounded. Therefore, the company will not give you their money. You can't act crazy and think you're going to get what you want from the masculine. Y'all gotta... If you were to think about the masculine in the body parts, okay? I want you to think about the masculine as a head. See my head? It's big, okay? I understand my limits. I got a big head. I'm cool with that. I'm smart, so it works. So here's my head. But the head is not the most important thing when it comes down to this. Without the neck, the head couldn't do nothing, okay? The feminine is the neck. You got it? The feminine is the way. So the feminine is actually guiding, okay? Guiding. It's guiding them, guiding the head into this direction. Not leading it, but guiding it through influence. Oh, we need to turn. Maybe we should turn here. Oh, wow, look over there. You understand what I'm saying? You really can run the scenario, but you don't know how to, you don't know law. Like, come on. Girl, I don't know what I got on. I'm gonna be honest with you. What I have on my lips? NYX, I think it's called Cool Intentions. And believe it or not, because I'm a makeup artist and I used to work at MAC, I actually have on brown mascara. Believe it or not. So I have a brown mascara with that lip and with this lip glass from MAC. Child, I used to work there. So this, oh, what this is, Fashion Scoop. So that's what that is. But masculine energy, okay, is drawn to grounded, clear, soft power, feminine. People, when people are giving you their money, which is masculine, you got to understand, they want to feel like they're giving you their money. Ooh, baby, don't screen record. You're going to throw it off. I promise it's going to be on YouTube. It's going to be on YouTube tonight. Everybody relax. Don't screen record. TikTok going to give me a problem. So when it comes down to the masculine and them wanting to invest in grounding, so I want you to think about companies and, you know, investing in you, men or people just in general wanting to invest in you because you make it easy to pay you. That's how you got to be thinking. I'm gonna give you some game that you can use across the board. It's the same name as mine up here. You have to make it easy for people, corporations to pay you. Make it easy for them to pay you. It's easy to pay somebody who is grounded. It's easy to pay somebody who is soft. It's easy to pay somebody, you know, who is in a space of clear. I need this. Will you be able to do this for me? Huh? Hey, I was having this going on. Do you mind taking care of this for me? Keyword for me. Cause if the me is soft, it's the same as my name, FemEruditeL. If the me is soft, then why would I not want to protect the soft? Why would I not want to invest in the delicate? Why would I not want to do that? Why would I not want to invest in good ground? Okay? These are the things that we have to think about. So the masculine is drawn to grounded, clear, soft, feminine power. When I say even clear on your standards, clear on your boundaries, clear on your expectations. A lot of women don't know what they want. And so when you're asked, you know, what it is that you want and what it is that you need and what it is that you desire, you don't even know what to say in that experience. And these are things that you really got to pay attention to. So with the law of polarity, I'm telling you what the masculine is drawn to. So there's the masculine and there's the feminine. You need to make sure and ask yourself, are you the masculine? And when I say, are you the masculine, are you the one who's drawn to clear, you know, grounded, clear, soft power? And I'm going to be honest with you, a lot of women are, because they don't understand polarity and they don't understand themselves, which is why y'all want men to talk about their feelings. I want to be his soft place to land. Do you now? So you're going to be the one with the structure. You're going to be the one taking the order. You're going to be the one leading the direction, huh? That's what you're basically saying. Y'all be wanting men to be women. The masculine is drawn to grounded, clear, soft. He just listens to everything. He just listens so much. He's such a great listener. I just talk to him about all my problems, and he's just there just to listen and do this and do that. And he ain't did no work. He ain't solved no problem. He ain't investigated you to feel what you want because you talk so much. You tell him everything about you. So he just figured out you need somebody to listen to because men are pattern. They pay attention to patterns. Oh, okay, so all you need is somebody to talk to. Got it. I ain't finna give you no investment. All you need to do is just spew. Damn, every time I talk to you, it's always a problem. Let me just listen to this so she feel like I'm doing something. And when you've told everything you need to tell and do everything you need to do, and then you realize that's not good enough, and you start complaining about how he not doing this, he not doing that, he was never doing that. Because there was what? Never a standard. You never use the law of force and acceleration. So you wasted time accelerating in the wrong direction, trying to force something that you didn't even pay attention to. If you would have set a firm standard up front, you would not even be in this scenario. Because dude would have walked or he would have rose to the occasion. Real simple, real easy. Are you the masculine energy? And I'm just going to keep it real with you too. I know a lot of y'all ain't going to like this when I say it, but y'all out here looking for men, the fine men. They so fine. I want my man to be so fine. Looking for a fine man and looking for a man to be extremely physically attractive is a masculine trait. Beauty is a currency for women. Beauty is a currency for women. This is why men want the baddest on their arm. They want the prettiest on their arm because it is currency. That beauty opens doors. Why do you think that Jermaine Dupri said women started coming after him harder when they realized that he was dating Janet Jackson? Men benefit from your beauty currency. They benefit from your energetics. They benefit from who you are. It opens doors for them, which is why you should not be so willy-nilly to give access to any and everyone. These are the things that we really have to pay attention to because it's so, so important. We really miss that. When you grip, thank you, my love, for these gifts, these likes, and these comments. When you grip, when you overfunction, when you prove, you collapse the polarity. You collapse the polarity. Girl, me too. I don't like them neither. I can't do nothing with a pretty man. What I realized the pattern between pretty men is that whenever you see a pretty man, there's always a woman behind him taking care of him. It's normally a boatload of women that are in, either they taking care of him or they in line to take care of him next. Every single time. Chasing the beauty of a man is a masculine trait because men look for beautiful women. So you wondering why the pretty boy won't take care of you, why he won't show up for you, why you won't lead? Duh. Pay attention. You went after him because he was so fine. When you grip, when you overfunction, when you prove, you collapse the polarity. When you try to be the one that's leading the direction and that's doing this and that, doing that, you collapse the polarity. You go from your feminine energy to masculine energy. And polarity doesn't lie. If one person is in their masculine energy, another person, primarily 9 times out of 10, is in their feminine energy. So if you're not in your authentic energy, you're the masculine one, and your man is in the feminine position, you're gonna feel unbalanced. You're gonna feel off because you are off in that space. Energetically, it's not right. Energetically, you're not in order. But here's the thing, and this is what happens a lot. I'll be honest with you. I've seen it happen in relationships, even with women that I've worked with. Women have come to work with me and they've spent a lot of time in their left brain energy, which is more of the masculine energy. And then they come to work with me and they start transitioning into their feminine energy. And initially they come into friction with their partner because it's almost like it's 2 women fighting. And I'm not saying it to be shady. I'm not saying it to be funny. I'm not saying it to be no kind of way. But it's a feminine energy. It's been masculine and feminine energy. But she was the masculine one. But when she leaned in more so into her feminine energy, at first it was a fight, almost a cat fight, because they both have the same energy. But her working with me and remaining in polarity, which is her authentic energy, the feminine energy, eventually shifted him into his masculine energy. Now, it's not like that for everybody, but for him, It inspired him. I supported her in activating her inner muse, and it inspired him to shift into his proper positioning. And this is what it talks about in scripture when it says how the unsanctified spouse can be saved by the sanctified spouse. But on ting. See, if you married and you're unequally yoked and you still in that marriage and you still are deciding to make that work, that marriage can shift, but it's going to take a lot of work. And you're going to have to stay rooted in the law of polarity in your energy if you want to see a shift. And that's going to take time because he wasn't like that when you got him, baby. And it's hard to train them different when you train them to treat you the way in the beginning. I'm just telling you the truth. It can be done, but it takes a level of work. It takes some real patience. It takes you activating the spiritual fruits. Thank you, my love, for these gifts. You got to have the patience because it's going to take a minute. In a minute, and for a while, y'all might be in a cat fight because the energy that you came into with this man, he was feminine and you was masculine. You changed. That don't automatically mean he going to change, and it's going to take a little time, sweetheart. This is why it's important if you're going to marry, that you strategically marry in alignment so that you're equally yoked. It makes a difference. Thank you, my love, for these gifts. So when you're understanding the law of proximity, I'm sorry, not the law of proximity, the law of polarity, what happens is if you grip and you overfunction and you try to prove, you collapse the polarity, right? And what happens when you collapse the polarity? What happens when you meet a man with contention? What happens when you start going off on him? What happens when you send a long text message? He don't respond. He pulls back. Why? Because that's what feminine energy does when it's met with masculine energy that is not safe. So you have activated the science in him, whether you realize it or not. Rah, 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 rah. Force him. Lean back. Activate Fat Joe. Lean back. I ain't finna listen to all that. I ain't gotta deal with all that. I'm detached. Ha 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 ha. Y'all letting them use your science on you because you're not activated and tapped into your own science. So they use the science against you. That's how romance even came about anyway. Do you know that? Romance is a big business when it comes down to capitalism that makes you feel like romance is love. But what you don't realize is that romance came from, it was a guy who was, I forgot his name. It's in one of the Robert Greene books, and it talks about a man who was so physically unattractive according to society. He was so physically unattractive, but he really, really wanted women, right? Romance is absolutely not love. It is capitalism. And if you don't believe me, pay attention to the payment pipeline that they have from the idea and the conception of love to the idea around Valentine's Day and how they capitalize on that to make you buy into that, to make the jewelry business, to make you buy these engagement rings and all. Like it's a capitalistic game. But anyway, the guy, he really wanted women, okay? And he couldn't get no women. So what he did was he started to pay attention to women. And he realized that he could put women under a spell. And the way he did that, right, is that he paid attention to what women value most, what women, engage in most. And he realized that women love language. And when he realized that women loved language, he started using language to get women. He began to talk to them. He began to say things to flatter them. He used what we got on us. He used what we got on us, and he taught other men this. And that's how other men begin to learn how to, speak to women in a certain kind of way to be able to seduce them without having to do anything. Because he couldn't even get nobody. So what women have to understand is that you are to romanticize and be romantic with yourself. Everything should be a romantic experience. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to just tell you the truth before I get into these last laws. The reason why this is so important for you to romanticize your life and to be romantic with yourself, because it is a privilege. And as many of you know, I lost my father. I'm burying my father on Saturday. It is a privilege to be above ground. And every hour, minute, second that you are above ground, you should romanticize the hell out of that. Buy yourself the most amazing flowers. Take yourself to the most amazing places. Wear the clothes that you claiming that you keeping, for later on or a good time. Thank you, my loves. Do it now. The next moment is not promised to you. So you should spend your time romanticizing your life. And I promise you, the more you romanticize your life, thank you, lovies, the more you romanticize your life, the more you pour into yourself, the more you will radiate, and people will automatically know, oh my goodness, it's a goddess, let me come with an offering. Oh my goodness, it's an element type of, let me come with what I'm giving to her. What I'm about to give to her. Because I see how full her life is. Thank you, my loves. I see how full her life is. I see her doing all these amazing things. I only want to add to that so I can get some form of access. So let me add to it. Let me come adding to it. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. This is science. I used to be a woman who, in my days where I didn't really know myself. Thank you, my love. I would be in this type of energy. But I'm in a space now, when men approach me, like, honestly, this is the exact conversation I had an hour ago with my best friend. Thank you for being my confirmation. All praises to the Most High. When men come to me, if I'm being very transparent, I was having this conversation with a friend of mine the other day. Men come to me gifting. They come in the door gifting. They come in the door like, I see, let me send you this to buy you lunch. Let me do this for you. I want to send you this. I want to do this for you. I want to take care of this. I know when I come in the gate, this is how I have to be with you. I didn't have to say any of these things. My energy commands respect. It commands honor. And how dare you approach a woman who is in tune with the godlike nature within herself, according to Luke 17:21. A woman who understands her godlike nature, according to Genesis, that I'm created in the likeness of the Most High. How dare you not be coming before me to offer something because you see that I am an asset of value. And I've done the work to not only exhibit that, but to embody that. I literally live what I teach. And people who know me will tell you that. So when they come offering. They come in that space. So, and I stay in my energy. I stay in the law of polarity. No matter how they respond or how they move, I stay in my feminine energy. Because if I step out of it, I'm going to be met with resistance, pullback. Here's another form of resistance. When you're trying to grip onto money, when you're trying to overfunction and work hard, when you're trying to prove that, your business is about to be, you collapse the polarity and money is not attracted. So money is delayed because you're in the energy of hustle. Money is not attracted to the energy of hustle. I want you to think about money if it was a man. The way you interact with money, the way you spend money, the way you handle money. Would money want to be with you long term? Would money be in a real relationship with you long term? I'm going to get into that in just a second, lovey. The Magnetic Wealth Blueprint will help you with that, for sure, though. And that's in my bio. But men pull back, money delayed when you try to go hard in the paint, when you try to overfunction, you try to do these things. Not because you're not worthy, okay? But because your energy is hard, braced, and closed, and you can't receive with a closed fist. You can't receive if you can't even receive downloads from the Most High if you are consumed with the things that are happening of this world. That's why you're not supposed to be consumed or even, conformed. Because you need at any time to be able to receive the downloads that are for you so you can be active. Because let me tell you something. When you get downloads from the Most High, you got to act on them immediately because there are certain things behind it. And if you don't move, you're going to see somebody else make the move and get the reward. And then you're going to be mad. But it's your fault because you need to be active in the experience. But you can't get active if you're not getting the downloads. And you can't get the downloads if you are consumed with what is happening here. This is why it tells you in Colossians 3:2 to keep your mind on things that are above. Keep your mind on things that are above. Understand that we are in a big game. This is the game of chess. Every move needs to be your best move. Your next move needs to be your best move because it could be your last move. See, when you start looking at life as chess, you start being more strategic. You start thinking. This is why I tell women, if you don't know how to play chess, find an old man that you can trust. Find somebody a man that's really skilled, and let him sit down and teach you the game of chess, because you're going to learn life. You're going to know how to move. You're going to maneuver a certain kind of way. You are the queen. And a queen can move anywhere on the chessboard. She just has to be intentional and strategic. And her next move needs to be her best move, because it could be her last move. So when you have that in your mindset, you know how to position yourself, and you're going to win. You're going to win. Okay? So again, those are the two laws. It was the law of force and mass acceleration, and the law of polarity. Let's get into the third law. It's going to be very important if you want to attract more of the masculine, meaning the only type of desired money and men that you really, really want. You need to understand the law of proximity. You don't attract, and I know people say this all the time, you do not attract what you say you want, okay? You attract what your nervous system feels safe being close to. Your nervous system is trained when you were a child. And a lot of it has to deal with and do with your upbringing in these things, okay? Because it's very important and very vital. If the masculine, and I'm talking about money or I'm talking about men, feel like a threat to you, if it feels like pressure, if it feels like instability, if it feels like abandonment, you'll subconsciously push those things or push them away. So if you feel like men always leave, men are trash, men are this, men are that, guess what? When you meet one that's solid, when you meet one that's not that, you won't be able to recognize it, so you'll push it away. That's science. The law of proximity. This is social psychology. This is a soft science that I'm teaching with this one. Your environment, the people around you, your experiences shape who you are. And if you sit in those environments and you sit in those spaces, then you will continue to be a product of your environment. That's just what it is. You'll subconsciously push away the things that you want. Oh, I want to make 6 figures in my business. But you find yourself in a space where if somebody called you right now and said, hey, I got 6 figures for you, you're going to be like, what happened? Is it a scam? You're going to be doing that. You're not ready to receive. Imagine a company calling you and saying, I have $1 million for you, and you start stuttering. You think they finna give you that money? I wouldn't give you that money. I wouldn't give you that money if you were stuttering and I just called you to bless your whole life and you stuttering and you trying to figure, is this fake? I'm not finna sit here. If I got the money, I'm not going to prove to you that this is a real call. I'm not going to prove to you that this is XYZ. Either you're going to take it for what it is or you're not. But when you are in alignment, you should expect these things. You should expect unexpected money to come to you. You should expect unexpected checks to come to you. When you are constantly sowing seeds of value into the universal algorithm of this earth and of this world, and it literally tells you in scripture that whatever a man sows, you shall reap. So the law of sowing and reaping says if you sow value, you'll get value. So why do you expect value to come from where you sowed? Sometimes the value comes from somewhere else. I have dropped seeds of value to homeless men and turned around and got payments from people coming into my program. You don't know where it's going to come from. You just drop the seed. You drop the seed and you don't worry about it. The problem is a lot of you want to drop the seed and stand over it and water it like this. You finna grow now? You gonna grow a little bit? No, that's not what you do. It's not what you do. So whatever you are close to and feel safe being close to, that's what's in your proximity. So if you don't rise and you don't come above, that's because you feel comfortable in that space being small. I would hate that for your life, but I mean, you can do what you want to do. Thank you, my love, for these gifts, these likes, these comments. So those 3 laws alone will support you in understanding the attachment issue that you're having and why things are not coming to you. They're actually pushing further away from you. So let's talk about the detriment of attachment real quick. Okay? Attachment is not desire. Even women that want to be married, a lot of times, I ask them a real serious question and they never can answer the question, which always reveals to me you like the idea, you're infatuated with the idea of being married. But you have no idea of what goes into that. It's a different level of work. And people claim that they're ready to do certain work when they don't work on themselves, and that's crazy. The detriment of attachment is this. Attachment is not desire, it's unregulated urgency. Attachment is not desire, it is unregulated urgency. It sounds like this. Why? What if he doesn't choose me? It sounds like, what if this offer flops? It sounds like, what if I raise my prices and no one buys? That urgency is what repels people from you, to be honest. Because you're creating a belief that it's not already safe. It's already not safe to receive what it is you're asking for. I saw Dick Gregory talk about this one time. Rest him. He was having a conversation and he was talking about a man saying, man, I want to go to Barbados. And then like, man, I don't think, I ain't going to, I can't go to Barbados. And he was like, you just canceled out all of your brain cells and everything that went along with you possibly being able to go to Barbados, all because you talked yourself out of it. It's repelled by you now. It's repelled by you now because you threw a negative in there. You threw this in there. Why? Not necessary. This urgency is what repels results. And it's because you're creating, like I said, the belief that it's already not safe for you to hold this. And that's what people and masculine energy feel when they're near you. They feel that you're not ready for a good man. They feel that you're not ready to have this amount of money. They feel that. And therefore you don't get that. This is science. Okay? Let's talk about the power of detachment. Detachment doesn't mean that you don't care. Detachment is really your authentic feminine state. It truly is. And if you don't believe me, go back and look at a toddler. They don't care telling you your breath stink. They don't care. They still love you. But they're gonna say, if you stink, they're gonna say you stink. You stink. If your teeth yellow, if you looking crazy, they're gonna tell you these things about you. They still love you, but they're detached from the fact that like this could be possibly hurting your feelings. They're rooted in the truth. So the thing is, you didn't come here automatically just being like so attached. I'm so attached. You were trained that way, and you also were trained to not detach. Okay, and that starts something is something as small as, oh, you know, when your child says something to an adult that you think is rude, you're like, that's not true. Don't say that. The child did say the truth. The child needs to understand appropriate timing and setting. You don't need to take that baby no away. You don't need to take away the fact that that baby tells the truth. That baby needs to understand timing, appropriate setting, and that is something that you can teach real small. You don't want to teach them to lie. See, we don't realize how much we teach children to lie by trying to take away from them telling the truth because it hurts feelings or it makes people feel uncomfortable. Don't take that from them. Don't take their no from them. Don't tell them no. No has an appropriate time, setting, all those things. These are the things that need to be really, really clear. So like I said, detached doesn't mean you don't care. It means that you're anchored. It means that you're regulated. It means that you're steady enough to receive. But only receive the things that are in alignment with you. So you're not going to waste your time taking things that don't align with what it is that you desire, what it is that you want. It looks like saying, I want this, but I don't need it to feel safe. Let's try this again. I desire marriage. It's for the women who desire marriage. I desire and I want marriage, right? But I don't need it to feel safe. When you start going into the energy of that, you start attracting men who actually want marriage because you're not focused on it. You want it, but you don't need it to survive. And the way a lot of y'all going on these dates with these folks, the first day you're doing this interrogation thing, like, you need to know what's going on, everything. I need your social, I need this, I need everything from you. Ma'am, this is a stranger. Nobody said you was marrying this person. And then for those of you who believe in the one, if you want to use that theory, I don't believe in that, but that's fine. If you want to use the theory of the one, you need to understand that 99% of them ain't the one. So that right there should let you know you should be going in with a free mind, because why are you going in trying to challenge everybody? I want this, but I don't need it to feel safe. Okay? This also looks like saying, I trust myself, so I'm not chasing your yes. Somebody say they don't want to buy your products and service. You don't be like, come on, you should do this and do that, and maybe you should think about this and that, and then you're going to feel like the cheesy person trying to, they desperate. Thank you, my love. That energy is going to turn you off. Imagine going to the mall and the Asian man there with the chicken, giving out the free chicken that they always be giving out, the free chicken. Imagine he right there. He like, you want some chicken? You like, no. And he like, come on, try it. I mean, just try it. What else you got going on? Just go ahead and just try it. You gonna feel like, I said I didn't want that chicken. Why are you trying to force me to have that chicken? Same energy, y'all. You gotta pay attention. It's science. You're gonna be repelled by that. I told you I didn't want this chicken. Okay? Detachment also sounds like I can hold power and presence at the same time. All of the things that I'm describing is feminine magnetism. The feminine magnetism is what's going to draw people in. Okay? That feminine magnetism, and like I said, that's why you attract so much more when you're not trying to hold tight to an idea, hold tight to something. The idea of marriage, you hold it so tight to it that you can't even enjoy the date. You can't even assess to see if this man is a fool or not. These are the things you need to pay attention to. So detachment is extremely important. This is why we have to stop this right now. And I'm not even being funny when I say this. This has to stop right now. This is why you have to stop right now. Number one, you're in spiritual violation if you are out here being attached to money and being attached to the idea of money and the idea of men. If you are doing that, you're in spiritual violation, and I'm going to tell you why. Number one, you're violating the law of self-reverence. Is something that I like to call it. And it basically is, you should love your neighbor as you love yourself. You are to be top priority in this life experience. Everyone else is playing a secondary role. And your lack of understanding of that is holding you back. You can be successful, you can be doing all these things, but if you're constantly out here violating laws of force, because I'm teaching you science here. I'm telling you scientifically that if you are attached to the idea of marriage, it will not find you, or you will find a marriage that drains you. I am telling you that if you are attached to the idea of money, you will position yourself to work extremely hard trying to chase something when all you have to do is be in position to receive it. I'm telling you what it is. When you are violating the laws of science by holding too much, moving too fast, expecting overflow while living in overdrive, your system is going to be maxed, and your results are now going to be working against you. Everything that you've done in the name of being this is going to work against you, because the first thing these folks going to say to you is that, I didn't ask you to do all that. Well, I did this for you. I did that for you. I didn't ask you to do all that. And then y'all want to get mad when they tell you the truth, because that's the absolute truth. Didn't nobody ask you to do that. You did that on your own accord. You did that for yourself. And you have violated the science of yourself. And violating the science of yourself causes you to be imbalanced. And here's another reason why you need to stop being attached to the idea of making money, the idea of men, and start accepting the reality of what these things are, so you can receive the only desired type of masculine energy you deserve. And you desire, which is masculine men and the type of money that you really want. Here's what you need to understand about modern male reality, why you're being attached to the idea of a lot of these men. A lot of modern day men of today, they are emotionally undeveloped, and I'm underdeveloped, and I'm not, please don't get in the comments trying to bash them, because it's not, I don't bash men. I'm just telling you what it is. They are emotionally underdeveloped. They crave direction and not dominance, which is why a lot of women feel very comfortable stepping into the leadership role. They don't pursue women who lead with masculine pressure. They retreat from them. So when you show up in your grind, and you show up with your proof, and you show up with your perfection, it confuses the polarity, because you go against the science, because you're not being in the feminine. You're trying to prove that your identity is this based on your title and based on the things that you've been able to achieve. And this is how men use you up. You present as the masculine, and according to the law of polarity, you will do nothing but attract feminine men who take. Because why? You do. This is science. This is all science. That's why I say attraction is science. You can attract and magnetize anything into your experience. But you have to understand the science behind these things. And a lot of it is physics and more. Okay? When you show up in your grind, with your proof, with the masculine, with your perfection, like I said, it confuses the polarity. But not only that, they don't know how to meet you. Money doesn't know how to meet you. Okay? Or the men expect you to do everything. Keep doing everything, because that's how you led the scenario. And like I said, you're violating the law of self-reverence. which is you should love your neighbor as you love yourself. Most successful women unknowingly violate this law. It's rooted in truth. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. Here's how a lot of women break that law right here. You give, but you don't check in with your body first. Why are you giving your last? Why are you giving your last and expecting it to be appreciated? It's not going to be appreciated. That is the most insane move ever. And when you get mad when that person doesn't do the same for you, you want to get pissed off, you want to get frustrated and talk about what you did for them and all those things when you should have never gave from you should never gave from no fumes. You didn't have it to give. You didn't have it to give. So you did this to yourself. Okay? You absolutely did this to yourself. So you give, but you don't check in with your body. You lead, but you ignore your spirit. You attract, but you abandon your own softness in the process. You abandon your needs. You abandon your vulnerabilities. You act like everything is okay just to be able to have someone around. That is not love. That is sacrificial override. And override will always turn you bitter. It will always burn you out. And it will always create blocks in your life. So if you are not receiving the type of money that you want, and if you are out here dating and you are not receiving the type of masculine energy that you desire, you need to assess your blocks and your attachments to the ideas of these things. Because a lot of you have some really distorted ideas of this thing. Okay? You are not supposed to carry it all. You are supposed to calibrate it all. And that's exactly why the magnetic blueprint exists. Okay? So inside the magnetic wealth blueprint, it supports you in getting rid of all of your attachments. Your attachments to money. The ideas of how you make money. Thank you, my love, for these gifts. Your attachments to men and the ideas of that and the ideas of marriage. It helps you literally deal with your attachment style. Here's the thing that people have to understand too. I used to be anxiously attached. I'm talking about, baby, I was sending the paragraphs, okay? Nobody paragraphs like me, okay? I'm a wordsmith. Even on the camera, in the text, you better know I'm a wordsmith too. And I would just be ridiculous. And it was due to some abandonment issues that I had. But what a lot of people don't realize is if you find yourself consistently, and I hate to it, when you find yourself consistently feeling like that, right? Or feeling like you're being ghosted or being abandoned, you have to ask yourself, where in your own life are you ghosting and abandoning yourself? Like, I used to be extremely anxiously attached. I'm now secure. I want you. Oh, but baby, I ain't gotta have you. Okay, I don't need anyone. Why? I don't. And here's when I say this, don't take it as like, oh, I'm self-made. It's not that. But here's the truth of the matter. People leave here every day. I just told you I'm burying my father on Saturday, right? People leave here every day. And I was having this conversation with my best friend this morning. People, I really don't like, and this is just a sidebar, I really don't like how women who don't have children or married women with children talk terribly about single mothers. I have a big issue with that. And I don't have any biological children. I've raised and reared a lot of them now. I'm the rich auntie for sure. I'm gonna be that. So thank you, my love. So for me, when I look at that scenario, when I see married women who have children who talk about single mothers, or when I see single women talk about single mothers, I chuckle a little bit at them because I don't think they understand the ignorance. Just because you are married to the man who you have children with, right, does not mean that you cannot become a single mother. And I'm not even about to go in the direction that most people think. He could lead you. He could lead his earth. Huh? He could lead his earth. See, this the real right here. He could lead his earth. See, this is why if you make a decision to have children, you should be having children because that's what you want to do. Because again, he could lead his earth. Y'all be so caught up with him possibly leaving to be with another woman that you're missing the fact that he could lead his earth. So you could become the very thing that you claim you hate. She said, that's what happened to me. And if you were single out here and you were being piped down, sweetheart, and you were being piped down on the regular, All it takes is one uncovered pipe for you to be in that same position. So what I'm trying to understand is you really have to watch your mouth. You got to watch what you say. When I say I don't need anyone, my life is not dependent. It's not a necessity that this person is here that I'm not going to thrive. You need to always understand and know people leave this earth every day. So watch your mouth. Watch the things that you say. Because you may find yourself in that scenario. People get real confident and they get real cocky and they get real beside themselves. But the Most High has a sense of humor. And you will find yourself in certain scenarios if you don't watch your step. But as a woman, no, you don't need people, right? You do need community, though. And that community can shift and change as you age, when you lose people, you need community, but I don't need this person. This person could die. I'm going to tell y'all the story that really hits this. I don't think when I was in my 20s, and I think I've told this before, y'all know my best friend passed away, one of them, and we were extremely close. I got in trouble. I had a ticket, and I got picked up for the ticket because I forgot to pay the ticket. This is my early 20s. And I called her to bail me out. All right? So she bailed me out the first time. Keyword first time. I used to be something. And so they had me on a plan to kind of like pay it off. And it was around Christmas time. And I went to try to go pay. And I'm going to answer your question in just a minute, Jess. I went to try to go pay and they were closed. So I was like, oh, okay, well, it's the holiday, maybe they'll do whatever. Baby, them folks was at my door. The sheriff was at my door that night. They was coming to pick me up again. So I called my best friend. I said, listen, because I didn't want to call my mama. I said, listen, these folks going to come pick me up. I tried to go do this. You know what she said? She said, I don't have it. Now, we was young. She's like, I don't have it. I said, okay. I said, dang, I got to call my mama. So I called my mama, tell her what's going on. My mama came down there to get me. I called my best friend when I got back. You know what she said? She said, I had the money. She said, I didn't give it to you because I need you to realize that I'm not going to always be here to bail you out. This happened in December of 2011. My best friend died June 2017. She is not here to bail me out. At any moment, your life can shift and your life can change. You do not need to be invested in putting your everything into other individuals who are going to expire eventually, just like you. Okay? Relationships are for perspectives and lessons and growth. Get you some. Not just for folks to lay up. Relationships are for the richest, and there are a lot of riches in relationships. Okay? So, and that's what you learn in the Magnetic Wealth Blueprint. It's a science-backed, spiritually grounded, spirit-led recalibration for the woman who wants to stop over-functioning and start receiving. The first thing that you're going to get in this bundle is the Deconstruct and Refill Your Cup Masterclass. If you are in a lukewarm or a rigid place in your relationship with your Creator, this is going to help you get back on track. If you are in the process of deconstructing and understanding your religion and your relationship with the one that created you, Deconstruct and Refill Your Cup is going to help you do that. That is the class that Delilah took, one of my clients, Delilah. And in 24 hours, she had 5 clients in her business. And she had been trying to get women in her business for like years. She'd only got 1 client. 5 days later after the class, she had like 9 new clients. After that class, after getting herself rooted spiritually. I'm telling you, the majority of people's problems is that you don't understand your identity. And because you don't know your identity spiritually, you don't speak with authority. You shake when you speak. You're not confident when you speak. You're not bold when you speak, and people don't believe you because you don't believe in yourself. But see, Deconstruct and Refill Your Cup roots you into understanding exactly who you are so you can move in according with that frequency. The second course that you get in that bundle is the Wealth Alchemy. It teaches you how it's from regulation to riches. It teaches you how to understand your nervous system's role when it comes down to money. It helps you shift from force to flow. Okay? And then we also have my amazing course, Love in the Nervous System. Love in the Nervous System gonna get you right if you out here dating. If you out here dating, it's gonna get you right because it's gonna help you. It's gonna help you master detachment. It's gonna help you remove those attachment styles that you have, and it's gonna help you see things exactly for what it is. Love in the Nervous System will support you in attracting emotionally available masculine energy through self-regulated intimacy. I have a young lady who took this course and did the challenge. Like, we had a challenge that came with it. And she did the challenge. And she told me after that, she said, this is such good information. After this, I'm just deciding, I'm not, after this class, I decided I'm not dating because it's just so much. So she started focusing on herself. She started focusing on her career. She started focusing on things that she wants. Baby, she met a man in May. We had this challenge, I think it was in January, maybe. She met a man in May. He didn't waste no time. He already was like, okay, here, this is what I want. Neither one of them was so-called looking for relationships. Baby, they've been talking since May. He just flew her down there this weekend. He met her mama, all this stuff, baby. He had everything set up. He's ready to propose. She was like, I wish people listen to the stuff that you're saying because you really do know what you're talking about. It's science. I promise it's science. I have another client implemented these things, right? She attracted a fiance. I have another client who implemented the things from Love in the Nervous System. Immediately, within 24 hours, her partner, when she leaned into her proper energy, her partner started supporting, giving her, doing everything that she had been asking for. And all she did was lean back. Listen to what I said in the session. Love in the Nervous System gonna get you right every time if you out here. Because it helps you remove the veil. It helps you remove the idea. It helps you stop idolizing and realizing what it is that you want for yourself. Okay? You also get the power of your feminine design. You learn how to stop performing and start receiving and activate your true feminine influence. Then you also get passively paid, okay? Which teaches you how to align your offers and your income stream with your natural rhythm so they multiply without you having to push. And then even to take it up a notch, I actually added the intelligence to income. I'm teaching you, let me tell you something. The future of money is intelligence, artificial or human, brilliance. You have creative and witty inventions in your very being according to Proverbs 8 and 12, which means that you were created with your own designated brilliance. The problem is that you allow society to make you feel like the things that you can do well is elementary. Society said that writers, you're not going to make money if you go and do this. I have built a multi-six-figure business from simply writing out the processes and the frameworks that I have gone through, that I have learned through my experiences, and that the Most High has been able to show me through scripture and my scientific pattern recognition brain and my gifts to be able to help other women make more money, get healthier, have better relationships. So I package my intelligence to income. You learn what your gifts are, what your strengths are, and how to package your intelligence into a product to where you can sell it for 4 figures, for 5 figures. I teach you all of that. I teach you how to detach from the idea of making money to receiving money so that you get more money. This is exactly the class, Intelligence to Income, that my client Rocky took. Rocky took that class at the time I offered it for $197. That was one class. Rocky started making, within 30 days of that class, she had closed up to $14,000 in sales. She had to reject the $8,000 offer. Ever since we had our session after that Intelligence to Income class, Rocky has been making anywhere between $8,600 a month in her business to $9,200 a month, and she was charging $250 when we started. She didn't even have to, and here's the thing, she didn't have to work harder for that money. I taught her how to work smarter. I taught her how to go within. That's what you get in Intelligence to Income as well. Okay? So everything that I'm giving you in that, this isn't theory. This is transformation. It's rooted in insight. It's rooted in scripture, and it is backed up by science. It's designed to literally help you stop leaking power and start leading from presence. So, you don't need another launch strategy. You don't need another chase this. You don't need another tip from, oh, how can I get this happening, man? You need to restore the infrastructure of your wealth. And one aspect of wealth is healthy relationships. So you're going to need a clear spirit. You're going to need a regulated nervous system. And you're going to need a receptive, radiant, feminine presence if you want to attract what it is that you want. And you cannot do that by being attached. You can click the link in the bio to get access to this bundle. It is $222. You can get a recliner, Affirm, and Afterpay. Okay? It is wonderful. You're going to get all 6 of those courses in that bundle. You're going to remove your attachments and you can start attracting the things that you desire. Women have been getting amazing benefits from this bundle. And from these courses individually, they've gotten amazing results. So if they've gotten amazing results from the individual things, imagine what happens when everything is all together. So you can click the link in the bio to get access to that. Like I say, you can get a recliner, Affirm, and Afterpay. The price is going up on that. It's $222 right now. It's going up to $397. So if you want it, go ahead and get it, because it's going up to $397 because the value is too rich in that. That bundle itself, you're gonna get $10,000 worth of game. If you do it right, you can make your investment back and more. You will make that $222 back and more. If you implement, and I'll say this, and you can hold me to it, but you're gonna have to show me something. If you complete all of these things and you do all of these things in this bundle and you don't get one result, you can email me and I'll give your money back. I know better though. And before you even try to play that game, I'm going to ask you certain questions so I'm going to know if you did everything. Because you can't get this type of information and implement it and not get a result. At all. At all. The first was deconstruct and refill your cup. That was the first one that was in that. Okay? What questions do you have for me? I'll answer questions now. I'm going to take questions real quick. What questions now? I'm going to take questions real quick. What questions do you I'm going to take a few, and then I'm going to get off here and have my lunch. But click the link in the bio to get access to that. If you, like I said, are a reader and you want to become a paid member on my Substack, that's amazing too, because you get strategy. So the way my Substack work is like this. There are a few free letters that you're going to get, and then there are the paid letters. The paid letter is where the strategy is. The paid letter is for the people who are self-starters. The paid, people are people who are self-healers who can implement these things and get these things moving. So I give a lot of strategy, a lot of game, and the paid content. And your life can really shift and change, okay? Let's see. Yes, I am too. What was your question, love? It's a lot on coming in. You have to run it back because it's too many. It's too many comments. I'm on my end. I know y'all probably not able to see. Yeah, it definitely works against you. And if you want to stop working against yourself, you might want to get the Magnetic Wealth Blueprint because it helps. Let me see if I can find any questions. I'm going to try to scroll up a little bit. Somebody said, where do you find community? Community is everywhere. Your community should be finding you. So if you're struggling to find community, then that might mean that you're not in the fullness of alignment with yourself to where you're radiating and that they are picking up on your signal and they are finding you. Because trust me when I tell you, your community will find you. Are you in position to receive? Are you in the spaces that make you feel extremely high vibrational? Are you enjoying yourself in these spaces enough to where people are inspired and attracted by, to you, that they come up to you? And I'm not just talking about men, I'm talking about even platonic relationships. The things that I'm talking about with this science, you can use in any relationship, platonic or romantic. Okay? But your community finds you. Are you in alignment to receive? Are you in position to receive? If you're not, then I strongly suggest you getting the Magnetic Wealth Blueprint, because that's going to put you in position. And according to the law of radiation, you're going to radiate so much from the inside that people can't help but to see. That's why when people work on themselves, they become so magnetic and people are so attracted to them. It's science. It's science. When you understand the science of yourself, you can create a lot of the success for yourself as well. And you don't have to live by societal standards, if that makes sense, or have to do this. Like, no. You're gonna have to catch it on my YouTube because I'm on a time limit. What am I missing? A lot of people in the community are attracting my way. So then it's your responsibility to discern who is there for destiny and who is there as a distraction. Discernment helps you do that. If you don't have sharp discernment, you need to get the magnetic well blueprint. As a woman, you shouldn't be walking around here without discernment in 2025. Because if you're walking around here with 2020 and 2025 with no discernment, you're going to be screwed in 2026. And you're going to be doggone sure knocked down by 2027. Because you're not prepared for the things that's coming. And I can't say those things on this live without me being banned, so I'm not about to do that. But I will speak them in my communities. But I'm trying to tell you something. Yes, it will be on YouTube. Dealing with limerence. What about it? I understand what I've been doing. I understand what I've been not doing. Thank you. No problem. Dealing with limerence and what kind of, like, what do you mean? And if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, but limerence is you obsessing over a person, over an experience that's not real, right? Basically. Correct me if I'm wrong. Because I don't want to speak on something that's not. Okay, so if limerence is you obsessing over a scenario that's not real, again, attachment issue. You're attached to the idea. Most of the time, women who operate from the state of limerence are attached to the idea of what this man is or what this experience is or who this person is. But in reality, you do not know who this person is. We as women, again, tend to romanticize a lot of things in our mind. You go out with this man one time, the next thing you're thinking about what your babies are going to look like, what's your last name, you're writing it, you're doing all these different type of things. You're obsessed and attached to the idea of something. Women claim a lot that they want to, men to be obsessed with them. That's not really what you want, because obsession actually brings forth repellent. Obsession is a repellent. And what I mean by that is the more a person comes after you, on you, even if they like you, they always on you, always everywhere, you're going to get disgusted by that. You're going to get repelled by that. You're going to get to a point to where you're like, oh my God, you ain't got nothing to do. Like, you're going to get repelled by that. So if you're in a state of obsession and of limerence, you're 1 or 2 steps away from being a doggone stalker. And who welcomes a stalker? People don't welcome stalkers. They're repelled by stalkers. They put orders against stalkers. They put distance and boundaries in between stalkers. So when it comes down to limerence, you're in that experience yourself. And only you can pull yourself out of that experience. One of the things that I tell women who struggle with romanticism or romanticizing scenarios and men and people in their mind is that allow yourself to have the experience in your mind. I'm not even going to tell you to stop it, because truthfully, you're going to do what you want to do anyway. But what I am going to tell you is that once you're done having that experience in your mind, okay? Once you finish having that experience in your mind, I want you to do this. And trust me, it works. But don't do it. I don't care. If you don't want to. As soon as that fantasy or whatever that non-reality is that completes in your mind, you're going to be like, whew, that was a great fantasy. You need to tell your brain that that was a fantasy. Because if you don't, you're going to consciously take that into your reality. So when you're not met with the same amount of like or the same amount of energy that you feel like you should be getting based on the experience that you're having in your mind that's not real, okay? When you feel like you're not getting that, then you start acting all losing your mind and acting like you playing me, you did this, you did that. No, you need to clap it up. That was a great fantasy in my mind. Or you need to do this. If you find yourself ruminating over someone and something, you need to say to yourself, it is sick for me to stay in a mental state that does not support me but drains me. And I am not going to make myself sick. These are things that you need to say out loud. Okay? Do you recommend doing the program alongside therapy? Yes. Why? Because most women who work with me do 2 things, and this is no shade to therapists at all. Women either work with me in addition to their therapist, or women fire their therapist and they work with me directly. These are, to be honest with you, I've gotten more of the latter because a lot of women said that they haven't gotten the results in therapy that they've gotten from working with me. I work with therapists. Therapists come to see me. A lot of my clientele are VPs of companies, doctors, attorneys, lawyers, therapists, all of these things. They come and they work with me. So, yeah, it'd be great for you to come on and do it with a program. Limerence is how you feel about you when you're with them. They confuse it for loving them. Ooh, baby, that felt like church. They felt tabernacle. You said something. This is why I don't believe in love bombing. I tell people all the time I don't believe in. Only women who fall for love bombing are women who do not know that they are the bomb and they are starved for love. That's the only women who fall for love bombing. If a man comes and gives me $1 million on the first day we met, I'm going to believe I deserved it. I don't know about y'all. I'm going to believe I deserved it. If somebody come and give me flowers, I'm going to be like, I deserve this. I'm not thinking, oh my God, they're so amazing that they bought me flowers. No. I'm so amazing that they see the value in my amazingness that they want to add value to my amazingness. And I appreciate them adding value to my amazingness. Let me turn up my amazingness even more by pouring more into myself. Stay alive. That's the type of time I'm on. I'm not focusing it over here and romanticizing it. No. Absolutely not, baby. Absolutely not. I understand that, but how do you manifest? How do you manifest what? You already manifested. What do you mean? The question is, do you like the results of what you've manifested? That's the reality. Do you like what's in your life right now? You're manifesting. What are you doing with your time, energy, attention, effort, and money? You're manifesting consistently. What are you doing with your thoughts, your energy, your attention, and your actions? You're manifesting consistently. Do you like the manifestations of your life? Do you like the way you look? Do you like the way you feel in your body? Thank you, my love, for these gifts, these likes, these comments. Do you like your financial situation? Do you like the relationships in your life? What do you mean? What do you mean how you manifest? You already manifested. The question is, it's more so about manifesting something different. It's about bringing something else different into your life that's magnetized to you. That's what you have to start asking yourself. So if you really want to know how to manifest the things that you desire into your space, the Magnetic Wealth Blueprint will walk you through that. If it's around the areas, if you have attachment issues around money, if you have attachment issues around men, if you have attachment issues in general, just in life, balancing. If you are always overly anxious, you need to get the Magnetic Wealth Blueprint. Because society banks on you being anxious, because the more anxious you are, the sicker you become, and the more you need to depend on their system. And being sick is big business, especially if you live in the States. Hello. And the way these hospitals are closing and the way insurance are denying things, you might want to get a hold of your health. And if you want to get a hold of your health, you need to get a hold of your emotions, Little Miss Emotional Eater. Yeah, because I used to be that too. Okay? So I'm just saying, you better take control of your health. You better get serious about what you got going on. And the way for you to be able to take care of your physical health is to take care of your spiritual health. Because everything that's happening in the physical starts in the spiritual, sweetie. You are a spirit being having a human experience, which is why in the Magnetic Wealth Bundle, the first thing that's going to happen and that you're going to get is a Deconstruct and Refill Your Cup Masterclass. Because you need to be spiritually rooted before you get to the money. And you need to get to the money before you get to the men. You understand? Because we tend to get that confused. You want to get to the men so you can get the money. Lay the foundation for yourself first so that people can come into your space and add value to you. Okay? All right. I don't see any other questions. I see somebody has purchased, a couple of people purchased the Magnetic Wealth Blueprint. Congratulations to you. Like I said, you can get a recliner, affirming afterpay. If you want to be a part of my Substack, the paid Substack is $22 a month or $222 for the entire year. Or you can get $250 to get the Seduction series, okay? So you can click the link in the bio to get access to these things. Please understand that, yes, you will get great information from me on these lives, but you will not be able to transform your life by being on these lives every day for free with me. If you don't get behind closed doors with me, if you don't get into classes, if you don't get into courses, if you don't get into my communities, you're not going to see transformation. We are in a state of information overload. You can get this information. Everything I give you, you can go look this stuff up yourself. I have just done all the research for you. So if you want transformation, it requires investment. It requires investing your time. It requires investing your energy. It requires investing your efforts and your attention outside of your money. The money is the very small part of what you are investing when you invest in working with me or purchasing products and service from me. Dr. Eli said it yesterday. She said there hasn't been anything that she's invested in where she's worked with me and she hasn't seen a result. And she is now coming into my group program, my group container, the Muse Activator, where we support women in activating their inner muses. Why? Because a muse, by definition, is a source of inspiration. Okay? Difference between the 250 program and the Substack subscription. Give me 1 second. The Muse Activator is a program where you come in and we activate your inner muse. Why is it important? Is because by definition, a muse is a source of inspiration. A muse is walking art. What does a muse inspire? She inspires people to invest. She inspires corporations to invest. She inspires investment. So how does that start? Investing what kind of way? First, they investigate her because she's a mystery. She has mystique. She has sensuality. She has sex appeal. It's something about her. Her dark feminine is activated. It's something about her that just draws you to her. That you have to pay attention to her. You have to look at her. And if you don't believe me, think about the person that you're searching secretly and constantly looking at. You have the same thing because you're inspired by her. She's a muse, even if you don't like her. If you keep going and looking at her stuff and you keep looking at her content and watching it, and just because you're not liking it, you are participating in the ritual of her. Yeah. Whether you realize it or not, you are participating in the ritual of her. So the thing is, again, when you activate your inner muse, you will attract people who are enamored by you, but you will attract people who are obsessed with you as well, who want to troll you, who hate you. You welcome both energies because you understand the law of duality. You understand that there is left, there is right. You understand that there is right, there is wrong. You understand these things so you don't get it confused. Okay? So once the muse inspires investigation, and once they investigate her using their time, their energy, their attention, guess what happens then? If the impression is so powerful that it makes an imprint, the person, the corporation, or the company is going to give you what? Their money. And this works with men, and it works with the masculine. It works with money, and it works with men. It's the truth. So you want to activate your inner muse. The program is starting. That program is $2,000. You can get it with client affirming afterpay as well. I am only taking about 4 or 5 women into that cohort. Currently, I have 3 women into that. I have another one who's about to come into it. It's an 8-week program. You can click the link in the bio to find out more information about it. If you want to hold your spot for $500, you have to send me the word spot in my DM so I can send you a special link. Otherwise, you have to do everything with client affirming afterpay for that $2K. Let me see. There was another question. I missed it. Let me go. Difference between the 250 Pro. So here's the thing with the Substack. If you, and I'm just going to do this today because you asked, and I have been considering it for a while. If you get the $250, I can't even think. If you get the $250 membership with Substack, I will automatically give you the Magnetic Wealth Blueprint. But I'm only going to do that today because I already had said that I was going to combine that down the line. But since you asked me specifically about it today, if you click the link in my bio and you get the 250 package with the Substack subscription, you will get also as well the Magnetic Wealth Blueprint. So you'll get a nice value for $250. So you can get both of those. Substack specifically, you're just getting written letters. You're just getting written information. It's no live activity. It's no nothing. When you get the Magnetic Wealth Blueprint, you get video courses and then you get homework that comes with it. So if you get the subscription from for Substack, I will make sure that your information is entered so you can get the Magnetic Wealth Blueprint as well. So you'll get the videos and you'll get the letters. But that is something that you would have to do today for me to honor it. Okay? And that's for TikTok family and my YouTube family. All right? Any other questions before I go? Any other questions or comments? And you can click the link in the bio. Once you clear out for Substack, you'll clear out within an hour on the Magnetic Wealth Blueprint. You'll get an email for you to log in, get access to your courses, and all those great things. Okay? All right, guys. I'm not seeing any other questions or comments, or I'm going to let y'all go. Make sure you click the link in the bio to subscribe to my YouTube channel, because that's where I'm going to be once TikTok is gone. I'm going to be spending a lot of time over there, and I'm going to be spending a lot of time on Substack as well. Is the Magnetic Wealth Blueprint the same as your... No. The Muse Activator program is a $2,000 program that is 8 weeks, where you get live action with me. That means that you talk to me on a regular for the next 8 weeks. We have a Telegram group. We meet every single Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. We have these powerful sessions for the Muse Activator. And then also we get check-ins with one-on-one. So you have one-on-one sessions with me as well. So we go through the process of making sure that your muse gets activated and that you literally feel everything that you desire to feel by the end of those 8 weeks. That's why I meet with you in the beginning, I meet with you in the middle, and I meet with you in the end to make sure that you're getting exactly what it is that you need. And you also have Telegram support with me. You also get this bot, which is basically supporting you. Let's just say you up at 1 in the morning and you're trying to figure some things out and you really want to reach out to me. I have designed a bot to where if you talk to the bot, I need to get back on schedule, I need to do this, I need to do that, the bot is going to give you a schedule. It's going to help you work out a plan. It's going to help you do everything that you need to do. You also have the opportunity to come into the Muse Activator and ask, or seek accountability partners, and I will match you with an accountability partner to be able to support you on your journey. So you have multiple support. You got AI support, 24-hour support. You have accountability, human support with your peer, and then you also have support with myself. There's no reason why you should not see results. Okay? There's no reason why you shouldn't see results. All right. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, y'all. For anything else, click the link in the bio. DM me if you are wanting the $500 link to hold your spot for the Muse Activator. Okay. And then you'll make your payments after that. Once you do that, you get your contract, you sign your contract, you get your emails with your pre-paperwork, and you also get an email to schedule your one-on-one session with me. And then we go from there. And then once the one-on-one session is over, you get these Muse codes that come to your inbox for 7 days. Okay? That really is going to support you. All right? Okay, y'all. I gotta go. I'm hungry. And I hope y'all have an amazing, amazing, amazing day. Click the link in the bio to get more information. The Magnetic Wealth, I've already explained the Magnetic Wealth Blueprint. You can click the link in the bio to learn more information about it. Those are the 6 courses that I talked about, that I went through. From Deconstruct to Refill Your Cup, to Loving the Nervous System, to the other ones. How did you know that you were fully healed from your anxious attachment style? When I started dating again. And I paid attention to how I moved. And I paid attention to how I used to move. And how I wasn't moving like that no more. And I also paid attention to the results I got from me not being anxiously attached. And I started getting more of the things that I wanted by being detached. I get what I want. Or I'm not doing it at all. That's how I look at it when it comes on a date. I'm getting the things that are in line with me, or I'm not doing it at all. Real simple, real easy. Okay? So if you really want to work on that and you're serious about working on that, you might want to get the Magnetic Wealth Blueprint before the price goes up, because it'll help you come out of that. And it comes with attachments, and it comes with documents that show you, and that's one of the things I don't talk about. So it comes with documents, and it comes with attachments in the Love and the Nervous System course that gives you a script and that teaches you and shows you, like, if a man is wasting your time. You'll know within 30 days. You'll know within 2 weeks if your time is being wasted, because you'll be able to look at the timeline based on the science of self and the science of the masculine. You'll be able to look at it and be like, he wasting my time. This ain't really gonna work. You'll know. It sharpens your discernment. My friend, the one who ended up joining the program earlier this year, who's now this man about to propose though. She talks about that a lot. She was like, if women had these documents, they would definitely have sharper discernment, and they would not be out here making the mistakes that they make, and they would not be letting these dusty folks waste their time. So if you're tired of your time being wasted, you're tired of wasting your own time, you might want to get the magnetic wealth blueprint. Definitely hit the love and the nervous system to deal with your patterns around yourself and love and attachment. Detach those, detach from those, undo and untie yourself from those, so that you can become closer to the desires of your heart, which is the type of masculine you want to actually entertain and the type of money you want to retain. Okay? So yeah, very many. Thanks a bunch. 15 years have already been wasted. Oh, no time is wasted. There's always lessons. There's always lessons in the experience. As long as you learn the lessons in the experience, no time is ever wasted in that. Okay? All right, y'all, I'm gone. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for those who have purchased, and I will talk to y'all soon. Peace, y'all.